Moving on from the Johansson thing, as I'm sure you don't mind, some of the players that you brought in this offseason, Brian Gibbons, Hjalmarsson, there's some highlight of a lot of competition on the bottom six forwards. And if Johansson's not here, then that's even more so for the rest of the lineup. Just how open a competition is this, again, particularly for the bottom two lines?
Well, I wouldn't even say bottom two lines. I think that the biggest change that we've had with our depth this year is that we have skilled depth that can move up in the lineup, not only in the bottom six, but possibly to the top six as well. Brian Gibbons played last year on the same line with Sidney Crosby in the playoffs, so that's pretty demanding position to fill for any player. Hjalmarsson got 57 points in the Swedish Elite League, and you can take a look at any of the top Swedish players in the National Hockey League and their stats in the Swedish League. Whether that translates or not, we'll see. But he's definitely a top six player on his teams before the first training camp in the National Hockey League. And Alexander Wenberg, with the way he performed at the Traverse City tournament, he could move up from line to line and fill a spot. He can play center, he can play wing, and he's responsible defensively, but he's also a very gifted player offensively. So we have a lot more guys that will provide us depth in the offensive roles, which most people call the top six, and I try to call it the balanced forward lines. I've always said that I believe in best defense having the puck. If you have the puck, the other team's not going to score very often. So, whether it's our fourth line, if you want to call it the fourth line, or first line, we want to have the puck. And the guys that have the skill that can protect the puck and hold on to the puck, it makes it tougher for the other team to score. And I think we're in much better shape in that department right now.
Just to tack on, would you be willing to have a younger player like Wenberg, a skill set player, start off in a fourth line role if the spot was open to start the year, or would you rather wait for maybe other line mates to open up throughout the season?
Well, ultimately, I think as a young player or for a young player like Alexander Wenberg or any of the young prospects that we have, we'd like them to be playing to their strengths. So if a young prospect like that's playing 8 minutes on the fourth line in mostly defensive role, probably not the best for his development. So we want to make sure that we put him in the situations to succeed. But there was definitely some flashes of performance in Traverse City that made you think that, well, you know what, we're going to have some more tough roster decisions, and that's great. That's the way we want them. The year before, we left room that Boone Jenner and Ryan Murray could have a real chance to make our team. They did. They earned their spots. This year, we said the same thing in the springtime when we made hard roster decisions with some of the popular players here. And whether they can be filled with those young players or not remains to be seen. And we're starting in a couple days here an exhibition game on Sunday, and it's all going to be a big test for them. Every day is going to be a test, and we'll be evaluating, and then at the end of the camp, we'll make some hard decisions again.
Jarmo, to build on that, other than the first-round picks, was there anyone over the past 4 games in Traverse that really stood out to you, maybe surprised you, did more than you thought they would?
Well, I think they all played pretty well, every one of them. Even the youngest players. We had LeBlanc played in defense, and he's not very big yet. He's 18 years old, and he was battling hard right till the end. Pelletier, same way. Guys that we drafted this past summer. And our first line, the whole tournament, Marco Dano and Wenberg and Bjorkstrand, they played together the last 3 games. I thought that was the best line in the whole tournament, and we won the championship. Dano scored some goals, was strong on the puck, made some good plays. Oliver Bjorkstrand scored 4 goals in 4 games. And we've seen in the Western League how he can score. He had over 100 points last year, and he's not very big, but he's strong for a guy that's only 170-some pounds. And, but it's another test now. It's the big boys now starting tomorrow. So it's completely different ball game, and it doesn't only test them physically, but it tests them mentally as well, how strong they are, how confident they can be, whether they're going to be overwhelmed when Scott Hartnell's going to be saying, hey, pass me the puck, kid, or if they're going to hold on to it when they should hold on to it, or serve the older players the wrong way. So I think the whole group played well. Our goaltenders were good. Forsberg probably didn't play as good of a game the first game as he would have wanted to, had a great bounce back in his second game, and I thought Oscar Dansk was outstanding both games there.
I think last year at this time, when you guys were sitting at that table, there was a lot of talk of expectations coming off the season you had the year before. Expectations heading into this season, I mean, I think Hockey News has you guys number 2 in the division. They're very different again. They've been ratcheted up again. Are you guys at all concerned about how this relatively young club might handle that? I mean, and how do you think other clubs are going to view this team, particularly within your division?
Well, I think that there's been an identity established by the Blue Jackets and that we're a hard team to play against. And as we move along here and get a little more skill into the lineup, I think it'll be helpful. We're still young, but that's a good thing. And our young people handled it, I thought very well. Where you're picked, that's up to other people. It's up to us to have a better start to the season to give us a chance to end up in a place like that. We've had starts the last 2 seasons that haven't been what we had hoped for or wanted. We'll see how this season goes with that in mind. But I think that the attention to detail paid by our players and our coaching staff during the off season gives us a chance to have a better start. You know, we can talk a lot about just our team, but there's a lot of other teams that are thinking the same way. So this is the greatest league in the world regarding hockey, and we have to understand that we just can't go out there and be what we were. We have to go out there and be better than what we were because other people are getting better. Other teams are getting better. But I honestly think the mindset of our group and going through the change of, you know, let's just play hard, let's think about this and think about that, we're past that. Let's win. Let's just win. And I don't know how far the winning is going to take us, but I certainly expect our team to have the mindset to go and win.
I think the high expectations from the outside mean that we're getting some respect. But the main thing is that we know what's expected of us, what's expected of our team, both on individual level and as a team. And that's the thing that we're trying to hammer down every day here. It's not about just one season. It's not about making it into the playoffs or winning a couple playoff games. It's every day what's expected of being a Blue Jacket, and that's what we're trying to establish here.
That was what happened in Traverse City. That group became a team. I don't know how they did it so quickly, but that's an amazing thing when you have 23, 24 young players. A lot of them didn't know each other, but they became a team so fast that when you think of who played well for them, we sat here and go, well, you know, Wenberg was good, Dansk was good. Boy, there was a lot of guys pretty good. You know, that's what you want. You don't want the one guy to carry your team. You want the group to be a part of it, and that's what the Blue Jackets are about. We want, if Ryan Johansson's not here, he's a player that is a good kid. He'll be missed. But we have a team. We're not one player. We have a team that's got to go out and win. That's what it's about.